What have I done? So, you know, it's a regular day. I'm browsing eBay, Evil Bay. And, you know, guitar necks are coming up because this is something I search for on a regular basis. I like to put together guitars. I like to build guitars. And, you know, this one came up and it looked ever so pretty because look at it. I mean, flamed maple and that headstock. Actually, I have reshaped this headstock, but it is pretty, you know. And my brain is saying, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. But the other side of my brain is saying, don't touch this neck. It is a Chinese guitar neck. It's not going to be worth it. Trust me. You've been here before. Don't do it. Click. Yes, I ended up buying it. It was only $100 or so. So it didn't break the bank. But, you know, I was kind of thinking, oh, what have I just done? What have I actually just done? But look, I had bought it and then I thought, you know what? I may as well see what it's like when it gets here. But no, my brain works like this. Check this out, okay? By this stage, it's already made its mind up that I'm going to build a really, really high-end guitar, which is why I'm making this video, obviously, and sharing it with all of you guys. But I did want to see if I could take a cheap neck and make it into a really high-end guitar, which would rival my more expensive guitars. When this turned up, it looked absolutely phenomenal, but within just a few seconds, I noticed some stuff about this. Firstly, I did this and looked down the edge of the fretboard. This was buck-toothed. Yes, the frets, they were kind of like this. I have never seen anything like it. They were not straight down the edge of the fretboard either side. They honestly were really, really wonky. It was kind of like, you know, seeing a cartoon character with teeth just going in all sorts of directions. And I was like, oh geez, you know, that part of my brain which was saying don't buy it. Yeah, I was saying I wish I listened to you now. But hey, it looked really great. But you know what, I do have the skills and the tools to actually make guitar necks feel and play really great. So I thought, what's the worst that could happen? You know, I'll work on it and it still doesn't come up to par, and then I'll just chuck it into the pile with the rest of the firewood. No big deal, it's only $100, so, you know, it won't be too big a deal. But by that stage, I have already decided that I'm going to buy a guitar body, and I've already chosen the guitar body as well. Yes, yeah, I have an addictive personality. That's how it works with me. And so this guitar had to be made by this stage. But anyways, I set to work on getting this neck up to spec. Now this is something that everybody should be aware of. When you buy a guitar neck from a Chinese seller, it may not turn up 100%. Often it may not turn up 50%. So you do need to factor that in. It is something that was in the back of my mind, and like I said, I know how to sort these things out, so I wasn't too worried about it. But honestly, the challenge that this posed was much, much more than I had actually anticipated. Alright, so what I had to do was level the frets on the side, and I also had to level the frets like this. Yep, then I had to roll the fret edges, and then I had to refinish, etc, etc, etc. Big job. This didn't turn out to be a cheap Chinese neck, which was awesome. It turned out to be a cheap Chinese neck that needed a lot of work to do. Now, if you take it to a luthier, it's going to cost you money. Obviously, I did the work myself, so hey, I have a neck now. Now, the reason really good guitar necks cost money is because they turn up and you can bolt them onto your guitar and they just work. You don't have to do anything to them. So when you look at a neck which is $500 or $600, it's $500 or $600 for a reason. It will save you a whole hell of a lot of time and money and effort and tools. So something to keep in mind, and something that I should have kept in mind as well. Anyways, by this stage, I need a guitar body to go with this neck. Now this looks really, really pretty. And like I said earlier, I'd already decided on a guitar body. I knew what I wanted to go for. So a quick trip over to the KnE Guitars website showed me the body shape that I wanted to go for, and it was this one, which is the soloist or dinky body shape. And I had a specific set of requirements for the body. I wanted a specific bridge in there and 2 humbuckers, etc, etc. Mitch over at KnE was absolutely awesome. He really helped me out with getting the right guitar body. I went with this one, which is Black Limba. It looks absolutely amazing. This wood, man, look at it. It is pretty, and it had to be pretty to go along with that pretty neck. Now, this cost more than the neck. It actually cost 3 times as much as the neck, and there's a reason. You remember when I said, you know, when necks are $500 or $600, there's a reason for it? Well, this is the proof. This body is absolutely stunning. It is routed really nicely. It is finished really nicely. There's very little I've had to do to it. The only thing I had forgotten to ask Mitch to do was to profile the neck joint, but hey, check it out now. Yeah, I know how to do this stuff, so I'm totally cool kind of, you know, getting my tools out and profiling neck joints. I've been doing it for years. But man, this is awesome. This is such a beautiful piece of wood, and it's going to make a really high-end looking guitar, but only if I treat it correctly. So I have a plan for this. This is just raw wood at the moment. I'm actually going to use gun oil on this, and then I'm going to wax it. So it's going to be a natural finish on here. I've tried a little bit in the cavity at the back. You can see the color that it's going to go. So that's what color it's going to be. Hopefully it'll look good. I'm actually going to do this later today, and I'm kind of like, I hope it looks good. I hope I don't screw up this guitar body. But anyways, if I do, then I'll have to sand it down or something. Now, by this stage, I'd spent even more money, which meant that, yeah, I was properly into this guitar build. So I've got the 2 main parts of the equation. Now it's time to see if I can build this into a guitar which will rival my PRS guitars. I love those guitars. The Custom 24s are incredibly good. The first time I picked up a Custom 24, I totally understood where the money goes, because they are just exquisite guitars. Everything about them, the way the neck feels, the way it plays, the way the body feels, the way it looks, everything is just premium. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge to see if I can actually make this into something that will rival my PRS guitars. I'm willing to give it a go though, so I'm going to put these together and then let's see how I get on. This is scary, man. I will not lie to you. This is a little bit scary. Let's do it though. Let's do it. One of the things that most people don't talk about when you go on an adventure like this is that you need a huge box of parts to actually do this. Look, it's one thing having the body and the neck, but you also need the rest of the parts. The bridge, the pickups, the tuners, and all the little parts that go into making a guitar. And look, when you're doing a high-end build, you can't go onto eBay and find a bridge for like 20 bucks and, hey, that's going to look really good in there. No. You've got to go high end. You know, you've got to go for like a Gotoh 510 bridge like I have, which costs money. This is an absolutely exquisite bridge. It's found on the high-end Suhr guitars. Then I've got Gotoh tuners. Look, I even bought them in gold because that looks expensive, right? You can see the color scheme I'm going for here, right? And then all the little pots, everything, like even the pots. Look, I have CTS pots, which are the high-end pots. I don't want the cheap stuff on here because I'm trying to actually rival a $4,000 guitar. Even the pickups, I've gone for my favorite pickups, the Tonerider Panama set. Now, these are actually not too expensive, but they sound absolutely exquisite. Look, there are a couple of things that every high-end guitar absolutely demands. Firstly, it's got to look like it is worth $1 million, right? It's got to look exquisite and so pristine, and all the details have to be right. Secondly, it's got to feel like it's made from the finest silk on the planet. And thirdly, it has to sound like the angels came down from heaven and are playing on it, and you are in fits of ecstasy when you're hearing it. It demands it. It's a high-end guitar. That's what it's supposed to do, right? So firstly, the looks. This is my 2020 PRS Custom 24. This is exquisite. This is a USA model, and every single millimeter of this is just wow. It is such an event. Everything from that amazing top, to the headstock veneer, to the tuners, to the flamed maple that you can see on the edge of the actual maple top. It's just absolutely stunning, and the carve on it, wow. You know, the one thing that really stands out with guitars like this and high-end guitars, the finish. It is really nice. It is super flat and it looks great. Now, I'm not shooting for that because I want the wood grain to show on my guitar, and I'll show you what I did in just a second. But you know, this is the level that you have to shoot for when you're thinking about like a $4,000 guitar. So what I opted to do on my guitar body was this absolutely amazing finish. This is finished in gunstock oil, and that's a really special type of oil because it actually hardens like a lacquer, and then you can put wax on the top and buff it and it comes out looking like this. It is absolutely stunning. I'll give you some close-up shots of this. Man, look at this piece of wood here. I wanted all of this detail to show up because, hey, this looks premium to me. If I saw this on the wall of an expensive guitar shop, I would gravitate towards it because it looks so pretty, and hey, it's shiny. Yeah, we like the shiny, right? Couple with that, the flame maple on this neck, and we have a winner, I think, in terms of looks. I wish the fretboard actually had more flame on it. In fact, when I bought this, the pictures on eBay actually showed a little bit more flame. It was a little bit disappointing when this turned up, but it's still a nice piece of wood on the fretboard as well. So I think this will fit the bill in terms of looks. Then there's the feel. Okay, because I finished these in the gunstock oil and the wax, they feel so nice. It's like that piece of silk which I mentioned earlier. So that box is definitely ticked off. And finally, it's about how this sounds. I have no idea right now because I haven't even put it together. Look, I'm not going to bore you to tears with hours worth of footage of me actually just bolting all of this stuff together. I'm going to beggar off in a second and do that off camera because I know you want to see the final result. You want to see what this comes out like, and you want to know if this actually sounds good. In fact, I want to know as well. And hey, listen, if you're enjoying this one, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well. I really appreciate it. All right, I've got my body, I've got my neck, I've got my box of parts. I'm going to disappear for a couple of hours and put this together, and you'll see me again in a little while with the final result. You cool with that? Great. All right, see you in a little while. And just like that, it is done. Check it out. I would love to know your first impressions of this guitar in its completeness. So leave a comment and let me know. All right, I know there's a burning question on all of your minds, which is, how much did this actually cost me to build? And was it worth it? Well, you'll have to stick around till the end of the video to find that out. But first, I need to find out what this sounds like. I haven't even plugged it in. I've literally just finished it, come into the studio and shot this bit of video. Now the question is, does it fulfill the Holy Trinity? Does it look great, especially on camera? Does it feel good? I'll only know that when I play it. And does it sound good? Like I said, I haven't even plugged it in. I don't even know if it works, to be honest. Anyways, I'm going to give you some beauty shots so you can really see what this is like. And then I'm going to go and plug in and make some noise with it. I'll be back. So you just saw it and heard it. What did you think? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. From my perspective, was this worth doing? You know, yeah, it was. It was absolutely worth it. I mean, look at this thing. This is beautiful. It's an amazing guitar. So let's go through the Holy Trinity. Does it look good? I mean, look at it. Come on, man. You know, I think the thing that really works for this guitar is it looks like a custom built guitar. Everything works together. It doesn't look like a Partscaster. From the body to the neck to the headstock to the hardware, everything just flows. Now the thing that makes this feel like a premium guitar is all the little things that I did to it. Look at the switch. There are no screws there. Yeah, it's actually screwed in from the cavity at the back. Talking about the cavity, check out the cover. It's carbon fiber. A real piece of carbon fiber. And then you look at the nut, it's Ivana nut. Yep, these are expensive, man. They cost like about 30 or 40 bucks, these nuts. And then you have the shore claw at the back. Yeah, instead of having a regular claw, I use these shallow shore claws. They cost like about 50, 55 bucks. That's what basically gives it that look. It gives it that premium look and feel. Then the finishing. This is really important for the top shelf guitars, the ones which are on the highest hangers in the guitar stores. And you know, I think it was the absolute right move to do this in the gunstock oil and the wax finish, because, I mean, check it out. It just looks premium. I can see a little bit of the grain in the wood, but I cannot feel it. It is absolutely dead flat, and that sheen on it, that looks expensive, man. On the back, oh, that's just sexy. Come on, you gotta admit it. And together with that flame maple neck, yeah. So that box is ticked off. Second, how does this feel? You know, when I set out, I was really worried because of this neck. This neck took a lot to get right, and I wasn't sure if when I put the guitar together, it would actually work really well. I had this really sinking feeling that the strings would be falling off the edge of the fretboard. Honestly, no word of a lie. And I was not sure that it would play right or the action would be good or anything like that. This completely surpassed my expectations. This feels absolutely amazing. This neck, it feels like my PRS necks. Yep, genuinely. Honestly, it was something I was not expecting. It is so comfortable. The roll on the edge of the fretboard is so beautiful. And the way this plays is just sublime. This guitar pretty much just plays itself. So that's the second box completely and utterly ticked off. And the final part of the Holy Trinity, the sound. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I adore the sound of this guitar. This sounds very, very expensive. What do I mean by that? Look, there was a thing that happened when I got my PRS Custom 24 guitars. There was this depth of tone, this fatness in the tone, which none of my other guitars actually do. This guitar has that. Yep, I wasn't expecting it. There's this kind of like low mid-range which comes through, and it is just thick, and it's beautiful, and it just punches way above its weight. This is a little bit darker sounding than my other guitars, but it's also got a really crisp bite. It's like, you know, it's been perfectly EQ'd. A lot of it, I think, has to do with this amazing Black Limba body. And hey, look at it. I can't stop looking at this. This bit in the middle, which is darker, it's just sublime, right? But this must be contributing quite a lot to the overall tone of the guitar. It does sound absolutely astonishingly good. Coupled with that, the 5-way toggle switch on here, which is the PRS wiring that I put in here. And I've got humbucker modes in positions 1, 3, and 5. And in positions 2 and 4, it actually split coils the pickups and gives me different configurations. There's one other thing that I did to this. So this isn't a tone knob here. This is actually an active preamp circuit which boosts the mid-range. So when I did the clean tones and you heard those clean tones there, this was activated. It pushed those clean tones a little bit and it made it a little bit brighter and just sparklier, and it's amazing. Everything just comes together and conspires to scream at you, hey, I'm really, really, really expensive. That's how it feels. Everything So we've ticked off the third one as well. For me anyways. You guys let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. But for me, it's ticked off the looks, it's ticked off the feel, and it's ticked off the sound. Now, the $1 million question. How much did it cost? I set out to actually build a budget guitar. Was it budget in the end? Parts? $1,150. Yep, you heard that right. It cost over $1,000 to get the parts for this guitar. You gotta add up all those little bits and pieces. It does add up. Now, the thing that I haven't included in there is my time. This neck took a lot to get right. If I took this to somebody, you're easily in it for a couple of $100 to get the neck sorted out. That was a big part of it. So if you add another $200 to it, yeah, it's getting expensive now, right? Then on top of that, you have to put it together. Yep. Now, when you're putting together a premium level guitar, everything had to look like it was precision done. So I'm going to tag on to that. If you took it to somebody, maybe $150 to get everything put together just right. We're at $1,500 now. Yeah. So was it worth it? It was absolutely worth it. If I saw this in a guitar store for like $5,000, I'd think $5,000 guitar. I love building guitars. I have not built a guitar this high end for myself in the time I've been building guitars. This is by far one of my absolute best Partscaster builds. This doesn't even feel like a Partscaster. This feels like I went to a custom shop, had somebody make it for me. I know some people would be thinking, hey, you're just hamming it up because you paid all this money for building this guitar. But you know what? No, this is my genuine reaction to this. This is an incredible instrument. Does it hang with my $4,000 PRS? Absolutely. All day long, in terms of looks, in terms of feel, in terms of sound. Mission accomplished. And when I set out to do this video, I did not think I would be saying this to you. For me, it was absolutely worth doing. I would encourage anybody to do this because you know what? For $1,500, I've got a guitar which feels like an absolute just, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 guitar. Now, does it have any resale value? Probably not. Will anybody give me $4,000 for it or even $1,500? I honestly don't know, and I don't care because, hey, look, I'm a working musician. This is going to be used so much. You're going to see this on videos all the time because, I mean, look at it. Yeah, and listen to it. I wish you could feel it as well. Obviously, you can't through the video, but trust me, this feels very, 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 very premium. So I set out on a mission. I achieved a mission which I did not expect. And I'm very, very glad I did. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this one, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well. You never know, I might do some more guitar builds on my channel. And if you liked this one, please do give it a like and hype it as well. Leave your comments below. I would love to know what you think of this amazing, amazing guitar. I've just said amazing, amazing guitar. You know what I feel about it, but I want to know what you feel about it. Alrighty, thanks so much for hanging with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you really soon with another video. In the meantime, I need to find a place on the wall for it somewhere. Yeah, something's getting displaced. Something's getting put somewhere else because this is going to take pride of place somewhere. Yeah. All right, guys and girls, have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye for now.